It's a little shadowy, but we'll do it. All right, remember in that middle section, so we're gonna work on kind of softening it up from the middle, okay? So I'm gonna feed balls probably around this area because that's where you would probably reset a lot more in this area, right? And softening up, whether you do, there's two ways. It's either you're gonna do this way or you're gonna do one hand, where a lot of people are a little bit more comfortable with the slice, but it's just a little bit more timing of the ball, right? So either way you wanna do it, I can do it both. It just also sometimes depends on what ball is coming to me. Because if it's coming straight at me, it's just easier to just bend and push than to try to like go around it and slice. But I think you should work on both. Just in case, like in scenarios, it's a lot easier to slice the ball if you're moving. So if you're caught kind of like on the run here and the ball's coming, it's easier to just do this, you know, like slicing, than to be like doing that and then trying to stop it. But if you can get here in time before the ball comes and you're like this, then sometimes that's easier to be like this way to reset it than try to be like that. So I think it's court positioning and kind of preferability of what you want to do. At the end of the day, it's whatever technique it takes you to soften the ball into the kitchen, okay? All right. No man's land, yep, come over here, both of you, both. One on each side. It's the same shot, so it doesn't have to be a sequence. I just want you guys to try and reset the balls that I'm hitting at you inside the kitchen. Anywhere. Okay, so whether like this that I told you, whether like this, just try to get it in here. Anywhere in the kitchen. Anywhere, because at least if you're resetting from there and I have to reach or I have to step in, that still allows you to, what, usually come up, right? So, but if you guys are hitting it hard at me or high, yes, see how much room I have to get it at your feet because you guys aren't at the kitchen. That's why it's very important if you guys are resetting that you want to bring it in this area, okay? All right. So it's just going to be a volley to this area, okay? Here we go. Sorry, here we go. Good. Okay, so if you're doing that way, just let it touch your paddle, okay? Let it just touch your paddle all into the kitchen. Okay, here we go. Better. Okay. So you're kind of do both, right? You're one hand, but you're not really slicing. You're doing that, which is fine, right? I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just up to you. Like usually sometimes when I'm doing just this, I like to do two because it gives you like the paddle's not stable. Sometimes when you're doing here, depending on how hard they're hitting it, it might disrupt because if you tighten your grip trying to do that, what will happen? It also will pop, right? Because you're tightening. So whenever you're resetting, you always want a softer grip. So if you're sticking out your hand like this and then you're trying to be loose, it could flimp sometimes, okay? So it's either pick one where I can tighten my grip to slice because my grip is not as important as this one because I'm actually using the motion of my paddle to take pace off. But if I'm like reaching out like this to block and I'm like loose, it could disrupt. Or if I tighten, then I'll push, then it'll pop, okay? There we go. Good. A little softer. Try to get it softer. There you go. Okay. Remember, if you try to get it soft, it's going from here, just a little bit of a downward motion, just to get like under it, because that's what's taking the pace off. And I put the spin, and then it kind of softens up. Okay. All right, here we go. There you go. Yes. Okay. So now, once you start doing this motion and seeing how ball is either short, then I just start pushing a little bit more, or I don't absorb as much, okay?
Why is mine split up? Because I'm not following through?
You're just going too straight up, okay? So when you go too straight up or open it early, then it will just pop. Okay, wait, just send one to me and I'll show you. If I open up too early, see? It's just gonna pop straight. So I don't want that because I do want it to open, but it's timing of how it's opening to go to the net. If I just do that, it's just gonna go straight. Now, if I wait for it and kind of guide it, then it'll go back over. Okay? So I wait, hold it on the paddle, push a little bit. That softens input, but not just right when the ball hits, do that, because then the ball will just pop. Okay? So for one hand, you can have it a little closer, right? So here, and then if you're pushing out. So it's a little different than I told you when you're at the kitchen, because when you're at your kitchen, you don't have to go forward after. So usually it's easier to be a little bit more at your body. The ball's coming faster, so you're kind of just like blocking from right here, okay? But as you're over here, I still have to go forward, right? So sometimes I might have to push the ball forward, because that means I have to take it off light enough. But if I just sit here to take it off, I'm not that close, so it's not gonna pop that far, right? So sometimes you have to push a little bit to go. So if I'm slicing, then I push that, then I want to take it a little bit more out in front so I can go into it and slice at the same time, okay? All right, so just open that face just a little bit after contact. Here we go. Good. So see how the ball's spinning? So it should be spinning with backspin and being a lot softer in the air. Good. There you go. Motion, so if it's popping, a little bit less. Good. Into the kitchen. I don't care where, just into the kitchen as right now. Here we go. Good. Go. Very good, very good. Go. Okay. Again. Good. So if it's popping too hard, what we want to do maybe? Less arm motion, right? So anytime you're resetting, when I'm saying to push forward, I'm pushing forward as I'm slicing. So people get a little bit misconfused about when I say push forward, that right when you hit here, you push up. You don't want to do that. Okay, when I'm saying push forward, I'm extending towards the net, but I'm still cutting it a little bit, okay? Because if you have your face open here and push, it's just gonna pop. So like when you're slicing through, that's when you have to know how much you're sliced so you can push forward, okay? Oh, that you would just hit. That was my fault. I'm trying to get ball. If you get anything higher at your waist, like right here or here, you shouldn't try to like slow that up or like do this. You should just hit it. Okay? Yeah, so I'm talking about ones where you're like here at your center or a little bit at your knees, where if you push up from this one, it's gonna pop, right? But here, you should just be going down. Okay? All right, here we go. Good, again. Slice. Okay, again. Slice. Again. Good. Okay, here we go. Good, better. I want to see a little bit of backspin, okay? A little bit of backspin. Here we go. Good. Backspin. There you go. So the more backspin you do, then you get at least the motion, right? And then it's on you to see how that ball is popping off your paddle, right? Because my stroke like this would be different with that paddle in the beginning. Oh, I don't know, right? Because I don't know it costs off. So just getting this motion down first and then adjusting after that about how much it pops, okay? Slice, okay, good. I like that. I actually want it to be short, okay? I want you to miss a little bit short of the net, okay? Because that means you're not pushing, okay? Here we go. There we go, good job. Good. See, if you push forward, you should be slicing, because that will keep the ball down. If you're pushing and not slicing, it will pop. Okay, so that's the difference. So if you push, you need to slice. Okay, here we go. Okay, again. Good. Good, very good. Good. I want to see that slice. After I see the slice, then I want you to adjust your ball. Okay. Good. It's okay, I don't mind that. Here we go. There we go. Good. Slice motion and then consistency of the ball. So what's the difference of that though, right? Slicing is you're moving your center spot pretty often, right? You're going from here to here. So the consistency of the hitting the ball is going to be where you would want to practice more, right? To know that where's my contact point when I'm slicing usually at the ball. It's usually probably when I'm slicing at the bottom of it to the top, right? So if I catch the ball early, it might hit off center. If I catch the ball late, it might hit off center. So that when you guys are going through it, consistency of where your ball striking is going to help you build that, right? So obviously when I'm taking it back here, I'm not hitting it here, right? I'm usually hitting it around here. It pops up and then I finish my follow through. So used to hit it on the shallow side. So right, so now when you practice your stroke, that's how you're gonna practice how much it pops off your paddle and how much it decelerates off your paddle. So the contact of your cutting motion, okay, has to be more consistent. Here we go. Okay, again. Good. Okay, again. Better. There you go. Now it's consistency. See if you can do that each time. Okay, good spin. Good. Slice it a little bit. Perfect. Okay, good. There you go. Now, so now if you do that, right? So you guys hit 3 consistent ones. The stroke looked the same. The ball popped out the same. So that means those 3, your stroke was consistent with the contact of the ball. Okay. So that is where we want to gain to, where we know where we're hitting it so it pops. Now, if it pops, it could pop because other things. I'm hitting the ball harder. So you might think that same stroke or pop will be the same, but it will go farther now because I'm hitting harder. So what do you do in that situation when you start seeing the people hit a little bit harder at you? You soften your grip, okay? Soften your grip, a little bit more absorption. So sometimes I'll take the ball a little bit closer to my body when the ball is being hit a little harder, so I can kind of absorb it a little bit more as I open, okay? All right, here we go. Couple more balls at the regular pace and then I'll speed it up, okay? No, these are like the ones, okay, so these ones are like if you guys hit your drive or your drop, right? And I'm hitting it like this will probably be the pace as you get there that will be a little bit more loopy of a pace, right? Because I'm not slamming it at you, I'm reaching or I'm going low and I'm trying to roll it. So that would be the same thing as I do this and I do that. So that pace right there is what you guys are doing, right? So it's gonna take you a little bit more push because I'm not giving you hard. But say if I was kind of driving at you, you would be a lot softer in your body. That's what it is, okay? All right, here we go. Good, nice, perfect. Good, so this pace, this is like a roll. Nothing I would do different in the game if you guys are there. Okay, one more time at this pace. Good, good, okay. Now if I go a little bit harder, watch. If you do the same stroke and you can do it just so I can prove myself right that it's gonna pop, but it's good. I'm gonna hit it a little bit harder, okay? All right, here we go. Good, nice. Good, okay. Good. Okay, it's all right, a little poppy, but we'll get it down, okay? The harder I hit. But also the harder I hit, what? It's gonna be faster to where you gotta target it on your sweet spot, right? So you don't have as much time to look it into your paddle as you would if the ball is rolling to you where you're like, okay, I can go here and do that. Now it's gonna be a little bit more timing efficient once you get a harder ball. So you just got to locate it a little faster, okay? All right, here we go. Nice. Good, there you go. Okay, a little bit off center, right? Perfect. Here we go. Good. Perfect. 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 Nice. Sorry, a little low. Good. Nice, very good. Okay. Lower. What would you think? So now that you kind of see, or it's more of, would be more of the push with this. Okay, why do I say that? Because one, I don't want to do a slice from a lower spot. One, I have to bend even more, and then I have to slice more from a lower spot, right? Slicing from here and then slicing from here, just psychologically, I'm gonna think I have to push up more, right? And then if it pops off your paddle, that's what I do. But if I'm going low here from here, and then I see maybe the ball go low, it's almost easier to do the push way, where you're kind of like just digging it out this way instead of like trying to like scoop it down here, just to go like that. And then that one, let it bounce and kind of go.
Barely touch it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's also pace of ball, right? Because how much you push or not. Almost that would be more of you pushing like this. So if it's really hard, you're just gonna let it sit here. If it's kind of lobby or something, you can kind of push forward, but still absorb it, you know, so it doesn't pop up. So that's all based on basically how hard they're hitting at you too. Okay. All right, here we go. Nice. Good. 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 Again. Good. So wait, don't push as much though, right? So remember the pace of my ball, right? What is your goal still? To get it here, right?
Wait, what did I do wrong?
Well, I mean, it's going, if you push and it's hitting your sweet spot, what's gonna happen? Yeah, pop it out, right? Because I'm hitting hard, you're pushing on the sweet spot, so the ball's gonna go. So this one will be a little loosened, kind of more stable with your body, like a little bit more firm, but givey, right? Okay. All right, here we go. Again.
Oh, I didn't do it.
Okay, again. Nice, I like that. Okay, good. Perfect. It's okay. There you go, a little bit more push. Here we go. Nice, I like that one with the spin. Good, there you go. Okay, it's all right. Yeah, just let it. Okay, so yeah, that was just off center. I like the stroke though. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, no problem. Here you go. Okay, here we go. Just let it sit. Good, good, perfect. Here we go. There it is. Okay, set, push. Okay, it's all right. So doing this one takes a lot more, I think, getting used to dealing with the depths of what you're gonna do, because you have you have your hinge shoot. This is your kind of balance of giving into the shot and kind of pushing, right? Because you're absorbing it to kind of take pace and then what you push. But you just have a bigger area to hit more of because you're setting it there already, right? You're not like waiting for the ball to come to time it. So you're gonna hit that ball more often than not, more square than a slice. So that's why you don't need to push as much, because you're probably more likely gonna hit it at a better spot. So the ball's gonna pop up more, okay? So just, you gotta account for the pop up. Good, again. Yeah. Okay, it's all right, I like that, very good. Good, very good, there you go. Last two. Perfect. But no center right here, right? Okay. All right. Huh?
Did you clean your balls?
Did I what?
Because they look so shiny today.
No, I don't think so. Unless someone else, or unless it rained and it went through the shed.